Well folks, we are approaching the end of 2022, and just like most years previous, it's been a bit of a roller coaster. And also, just like the previous years since YouTube has been a thing, there have been a lot of controversial moments. A lot of which, before I started planning this video, I genuinely forgot about, because the stuff that happened in like January, February, March, it just feels like a fucking eternity ago. Which is why today I thought it would be a good idea to conclude 2022 and go back through every single month as it happened and go through the piece of drama as it happened. But before we do get any further, if you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so. I'm trying to hit 400,000 subscribers on this channel, and we're quite a bit off right now, so if you want to help out, that would be bloody lovely. So 2022 started with the first taste of how bad NFTs are. What y'all been waiting for? Etika Punk NFTs. Commemorate the life of Etika, who sadly ended his own life with these one-of-a-kind NFTs made by fellow fans of his. Oh, you have to be kidding me. They put a fucking bridge in the background. Yeah, if you could do us all a favour, let's just leave NFTs in 2022, okay? We don't need to see them anymore. And then following that in January, we actually got the release of the Hype House Netflix show. It was like a 9-part series just trying to show how hard their lives are as TikTok influencers. And the whole storyline for this is that it was going to be the end of the Hype House, you know? You had Thomas Petru, the leader, trying to get into his feels and was getting all emotional because he was like, oh, I just don't know how to tell them that I'm going to end the Hype House. And then it builds up to this last episode where they don't even end.
I feel like everyone together is the perfect opportunity for me to tell them I've been shutting Hype House down. Maybe I shouldn't end it.
Well, that's a bit of an anticlimax. And then we get our first of many mentions of the Ace family when in January they upload a video clickbaiting that their own child got injured. Which isn't even a surprise, is it? Steele got hurt bad on camera, so unexpected, and then literally has a thumbnail of the kid bleeding from his mouth. Classic Ace family, eh? But like I said, that's not even scratching the surface with the amount of shite they've done this year. But speaking of dodgy families, we also had the Dobre brothers uploading one of their legendary pranks where they pretended that one of their own brothers took his own life.
To my family, Lucas, Mom, Dad, Size, Darius, and everyone else, I just want to say I love you guys so much, and I wanted to write you this letter before I go. Ah,
what a lovely thing to catch on film, eh? I just can't believe how stupid them brothers are to, first of all, pretend that their brother took their own life, to then pretend that they would react to something like that by picking up a vlog camera and filming it, to then posting it for their tens of millions of child viewers to see. Like, are they fucking morons? And then we got some Twitch drama where Pokimane and Jadion had a bit of a situation where Jadion got banned from Twitch for saying some pretty dodgy stuff about Pokimane, so Ninja jumped in the mix, defended Jadion, said that he was going to help get him unbanned, and when Pokimane had a problem with this, Ninja and his wife threatened to sue Pokimane. It's a bit of a weird time. We are considering everything defamation of character at this point and are getting our legal team involved. You are spewing lies to tens of thousands of people. You know Twitch, you claim you know his rep, then you know from them that Tyler never reached out to anyone, and again, just said that to stop the harassment in his chat from JDon viewers. We have clarified everything to you. You are actively bringing harassment to Tyler and I right now at the highest level, and we are taking this very seriously. Honestly, the biggest shock of this situation was the fact that it happened this year. Like, when I was planning this video and saw that this happened in January, I couldn't believe it. I thought it happened about 4 years ago. And then this is where we got to the end of January, and which better way to end January than Trisha Paytas saying that she's going to run for office.
It's so awful. I truly feel like I don't know what we can do. Like, what can be done? I feel like I would love to run for like office just to change that. Like,
you know what? I am so glad that this was one of the only times we spoke about Trisha Paytas this year, because she used to spew some shite, didn't she? But this is where we move on to February, and we were first introduced to Connexions.
Well, I'll just say it. I wanted to have sex a lot. And so I knew it. There was a song and dance. Every time I wanted it, it was like, I've got to do something.
And you know what? That was probably the best video they ever uploaded on that page. it all goes downhill from there. But then, just like most months we're going to cover in this video, the Ayres family got involved again, where Osman Broom first of all mentioned how he is going to be more strict with his daughter than his son.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna be more strict with my girls than my son.
What?
Yeah, that's just...
Stop.
That's just the nature of it. That's just the nature of it.
And then followed this up by confronting his daughter on camera about the possibility of having boyfriends.
Is it true that you have a boyfriend?
No.
I'm being serious, Al. I'm gonna take this very serious.
No, I don't have one.
You wanna go to Papa's this weekend? Okay, now I need you to tell me the truth, okay? So you have a boyfriend, Al?
No.
Them kids really don't have any privacy, do they? But then we move on to Tana Mongeau's first appearance of the year, because she released some wine called Dizzy, and she said that she worked really hard on this for months and months and kept mentioning it over and over again.
Working on Dizzy Wine for the past month has been the most incredible, exciting experience of my life. I think that of everything I've ever made, by far this is my favorite project and favorite thing I've released.
But of course, like most things that Tana Mongeau mentions, this turned out to be a big fat lie, because people found out that Tana Mongeau actually just used a create your own alcohol brand website that anyone could use, and she just copied all the ingredients from an already made wine. Hints of pear, lychee, white peach, lemon, and a white floral perfume. And then if you go to Tana's drink, Dizzy, on her own website, it says the taste is pear, lychee, white lemon, and a white floral perfume. But then we've even got the aroma here, which is sweet and fruity, that is a counterbalanced by bitter, floral, waxy notes. Funny enough, it says the exact same thing on the website again. They've just used the default drink. You know, the more and more I mention things that happened this year, most of it just isn't a surprise. Like, the fact that Tana Mongeau is being lazy with a product, who the fuck is shocked? And this is where we got to the start of the Jeff Wittek versus David Dobrik drama, which yet again feels like it happened years ago. But it started off with Jeff Wittek talking about it openly on his podcast, where he mentioned stuff like David Dobrik being on FaceTime with one of the Kardashians and kind of just makes fun of Jeff.
He gets a call from Kourtney Kardashian. He pans the phone over to me. I'm in the passenger seat, and he goes, look, he did something stupid. It took a second to realize, like, it's Kourtney Kardashian. I'm not going to be like, oh, fucking, what? No, he fucking did it. I didn't say anything. I kept my mouth shut. But I told him after when we were alone, I said, look, that call, that's not how this is going to go.
Yes, that's right. That is David Dobrik bragging to one of the Kardashians over the fact that Jeff Wittek nearly lost his eye. You know? Lovely bloke. And then to end February, Emma Chamberlain announced that she was going to be leaving YouTube for a certain amount of time that she doesn't know yet.
I need to step back and heal from the years and years of burnout and give myself weeks, months, years, if I need to figure out if it's something that I can do in a healthy way.
And yeah, she did actually end up leaving YouTube for most of the year because of this, and she has since returned and she's uploading again, so good to see. And so we move to March, and this is where the David Dobrik, Jeff Wittek, and now Ethan Klein drama is starting to get, like, more and more frequent, with Ethan Klein making a video talking about how Jeff Wittek's friend was actually kind of stalking their home and threatening him and filming it and just being a pretty dodgy bloke.
Jeff's friend, the guy I was making fun of, he came into our fucking gated community and was filming driving by our house and saying, I got all the info you need, Ethan, don't test me. Like, threatening me and my family.
Yeah, Ethan Klein actually ended up filing a police report because of this, and for good reason. I mean, the bloke was literally stalking his family home and threatening him. Like, why would he think that would ever be a good idea? And yeah, March actually ended up providing us the first YouTuber boxing event of the year, with quite arguably the weirdest press conference I've ever seen in my life.
My mom's gonna fuck you with a strap on. She's gonna have the best 50th birthday ever.
You can see why actual boxing fans hate this, can't you? And again, in the month of March, the Ayres family had their name in the spotlight for negative reasons, where they made a video talking about why their home was foreclosed. They were making complaints saying there wasn't even a certificate of occupancy, that there hadn't been checks in the home, and it was built to a bad standard, to which then an actual real estate agent made a video respond to this and just proved them all wrong.
Okay, so a certificate of occupancy is something that you get. It's a piece of paper that you get from the city that says that they have looked everything over in the house and signed off on everything.
For you to even live in the house.
So that's plumbing, that's pool, that's
power,
everything. Even the stairs, if they're safe, the walls, everything has to be signed off in order to get their certificate of occupancy.
It shows the home has had all of its building checks approved.
So now that's every month of 2022 so far that the Ace family have done something shitty. I mean, you can see why people don't really like them, can't you? But now this is where the Jeff Whittick and David Dobrik drama increased even further, because David Dobrik actually released his own response video to the whole situation, where he shows some DMs with Jeff Whittick, trying to prove that the whole stunt was Jeff Whittick's idea.
And he said, let's recreate this. And it was a guy swinging from an excavator and flying off. I didn't see that DM till the hospital. And he jokes, he's like, I didn't mean literally, haha, like he joked.
The only problem being, by showing the screen recording this video, David kind of shot himself in the foot, because as you can see, just over an hour after Jeff sent that video, David was already screen recording it, trying to build up a defense, knowing for a fine fact that he was guilty. So it just made him look even worse. But on a lighter note, Addison Rae actually released her own Snapchat series in the month of March, where she goes home to see her family, and she just prayed that her family would still look at her the same and realise, no matter how famous she is, she's still Addison.
I'm still nervous to see my friends and family who knew me before everything. Don't get me wrong, I'm excited. I just hope they remember I'm the same person they've always known.
What the fuck is this, man? You've not been Spider-Man this whole time and everyone's just found out your identity, so they might judge you a little differently. Like, you dance on TikTok, I'm sure your friends and fucking family will just look at you and be like, oh, hi Addison, it's good to see you again. And then towards the end of March, the Ace family thought, you know what, we can't be in the spotlight for negative reasons only once this month, we need to be in it twice. Let's announce the Ace Fest.
Are you guys not excited that we have the funnest festival coming? Oh my god.
What do you guys think? Be honest. We think this is going to be the best one yet.
$500! Valued at $1,500. Yeah, I'm sure it is, mate. And then to end the month of March, Jeff Whittick announced that he was now suing David Dobrik.
So I'm just gonna like send off all this stuff that we got to the lawyers and let them deal with it in court.
And yeah, obviously, we still don't know the conclusion of this lawsuit. It's still going ahead to the best of my knowledge. But this was kind of the end of David Dobrik and Jeff Whittick going at each other for this incident. But it wasn't the end of us talking about David Dobrik. That's when we move over to April. More crypto scams, eh? They really were a big portion of 2022, but like I said earlier, let's just leave it in this year, okay? We don't need to see them again.
I kind of went to the tippy top of the NFT world, and check this out. I got a board bunny, and not only is it a board bunny, but it looks like me. Look at that.
No, it doesn't, does it? It looks like you, does it, David? Right, give me a second, eh? Hello, is that the bank? Yeah. I'm gonna need a loan. David Dobrik's became a board bunny. Welcome David Dobrik to the long list of influencers promoting scams. 0.4 ETH to 0.059 ETH within 90 days, and the team has disappeared with $6 million. Look, if there is one positive that came out of 2022, it's the fact that we now know for 100% fact that you cannot trust influencers who promote crypto, okay? Please don't fall for it. But then further along in April, we got arguably the worst video of the year, and it was from the Hildebrandt family, who made a video talking about how they're against abortion and even compared it to the Holocaust.
Maybe the answer isn't either or, but rather both. I have my personal convictions. You have yours. We're all so different. And that's okay.
Honestly, still to this day, I can't believe they uploaded this video. Genuinely, might be the worst of the year. Let me know what you think. And yet again, we're going to be talking about Ethan Klein, except this time it's on more of a negative reason towards him, because he made a live stream making a bunch of jokes towards James Charles and was guessing if he was a top or a bottom and just making some jokes that people thought was insensitive. To which he then said if anyone who was watching his video who is gay and wants to call in, they can, and they can explain to him why it's insensitive, and Ethan doesn't really listen to the guy and instead just kind of makes jokes about him.
So would you consider yourself a top or a bottom, or you don't do that, the labels?
I knew you were going to ask me that. I knew you were going to go there. And I mean, this was all peace and love and with respect, Ethan. It's none of your business.
Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna get into it, Matt. But we all know which one you prefer.
Yeah, this month was pretty bad for Ethan all in all. I remember there was even a live stream where a woman called in and was talking about how her experiences are different as a black woman, and Ethan was basically not listening to anything she had to say, and they were talking about like the whole Chris Rock and Will Smith situation, and Ethan received a lot of backlash for just not listening to his viewers and kind of just taking the piss out of them, so yeah. Probably his worst month of the year. But then it was time for us to get another update on the Ace Fest, and then this is where we found out that the ticket sales for the Ace Fest were not only bad, but they were genuinely worse than we could have ever fucking imagined. So when he did this, he saw that there was 7,904 off the gold tickets, which is the $500 ticket, and there was 3,977 off the cheaper ticket, the $300 ticket. Now, like he said in the video, they might have sold a few straight away when it went on sale, which does make sense. So there would have been like maybe 8,000 tickets of the expensive one and 4,000 tickets of the cheaper one. He then went back over 8 hours later, okay? 8 hours after release, just to see how many tickets were left. And this is where it gets a bit funny. For the expensive tickets, there was 7,598 left, and for the cheaper tickets, there was 3,890 left. So in over 8 hours, they managed to sell just over 300 of the expensive tickets and less than 100 of the cheaper tickets. So this was obviously where people started to realise that the event was going to go to absolute shit and not that many people were going to turn up, and as we'll later find out as the months go on, that was pretty true. And what better way to end the month of April than Tana Mojo promoting incest? Yep. You heard that right.
I can say anything with you, right?
You can say anything, yeah.
You were fucking your cousin, yeah? I think there's something so special about someone who just really doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And like,
What do you mean there's something so special? Are we listening to the same thing right now? You know, there's just something so special about having sex with your family member, you know? It's just a moment. Right, let's move on to May. Now, I'll be honest, May's a bit of a dry month in terms of there's just not that many things that happened. But there was definitely a few that were worth mentioning. First of all, yet again, obviously the Ace family made it into this month for negative reasons because they were threatening to take legal action against YouTubers, specifically Sloan, for talking about the Ace Fest.
They did legally reach out to me and had me remove the 2 videos. They want me to issue a retraction.
And then yet again, in the same month, the Ace family were again spoke about for negative reasons, but not even to do with the Ace Fest. Something completely new, you know? This time they decided to just promote gambling to kids.
Please, something good, please.
And I know!
Let's go! And then later on in the video, you can see this as a pre-recorded footage because they're not even using the laptop, their hands are away from the trackpad, and the mouse is moving. So, it was just a scam, you know? The Ace family scamming people. Big surprise. Now this is the part of the year where we really started talking about A Passengers more because we started delving a bit deeper into their Connexions page and started looking at the advice that they were giving mothers. And in May, we reacted to a video where Ruby was answering the question of a mother, talking about if she should be concerned if her child is friends with someone who is transgender, to which Ruby then compared that to being friends with someone who does drugs.
Maybe, you're afraid of bringing your kids over to a family member because they're doing drugs. Or maybe you're afraid to take them over there because they use crude language.
Now obviously this isn't very shocking to us anymore because we've seen Ruby and Jodi talk about stuff like this endlessly at this point, but this was the first time we really saw it, so I decided to go a bit deeper in the next month. So June was the month I decided to join the Mums of Truth Facebook page under a fake alias to see what they were really saying under their private platform.
And the child is acting out in destructive ways. So please don't take the acting out behavior and glamorize it, because there's nothing glamorous about a child destructing. This kid is imploding and the mother is not quite sure what to do.
Yeah, that's actually a clip of Jodi responding to a parent about how their child is transgender. She's fucking evil, isn't she? But this was the first time we were actually introduced to Jodi Hildebrandt, so when I did a bit more digging to really try and find out who Jodi Hildebrandt is, we then discovered that she has a really, really bad reputation that spans back years before we even knew about her. Hildebrandt, a professional counsellor, is on probation for 18 months and must see 22 conditions or she could lose her licence. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints said Wednesday that Hildebrandt is no longer on LDS Family Services referral list due to the case. A supervisor will have to sit on videotape or audio tape at least 1 clinical session a month and review 20% of her patient files. Yeah, and that was because Jodi Hildebrandt was gaining a reputation for trying to ruin people's marriages for money, and she has a Facebook page to this day trying to give advice to people. She shouldn't be allowed. And now to end the month of June, This was the moment where a bunch of Ruby's own family started speaking out against her and started speaking out against Connexions.
Does your family still have a relationship to Ruby and her family? I haven't seen her at any of your holiday festivities with all of your other family. Just curious if something happened. To which Julie, Ruby's sister, replied saying, Ruby has chosen to distance herself. Hopefully one day she will come around. Then we've got another comment here saying, so sad to hear about Ruby distancing herself from the rest of the family, but honestly I'm not surprised. She is absolutely brainwashed with the Connexions cult. Very scary, sending love to you. And then Julie's actually liked that comment. And then we got a response from Julie referencing Connexions, and it says, Connexions has torn our family apart. It is not a good group to be affiliated with, and hopefully one day she will realise it. But let's move on to July, and this was quite a monumental month because the infamous Ace Fest actually took place. And as you're probably very aware by now, the people that did go, which was not that many, weren't overly impressed.
What are your thoughts on the event so far?
I was expecting more.
You were?
Yeah.
Aw.
But I like it. I approve.
Do you feel like it was worth your money?
No, not really.
Aw. I'm sorry.
But I mean, that's just one person who's disappointed, right? Like, maybe she doesn't speak for everybody there.
What are your thoughts on the event so far?
Carnival, I guess. It's a normal carnival.
Do you feel like you got your money's worth? Aw.
Oh, okay, that is 2 for 2 now. I mean, third time lucky, I guess.
What's your thoughts on the festival so far?
It's pretty, I don't know, not as busy as I thought it would be.
Do you feel like you got your money's worth for the event? Aw.
Ah, yeah, that's 3 out of 3 people who are very disappointed. Who would have seen that coming? But the rest of July wasn't very eventful. In fact, the only thing that really happened was Nick Avocado didn't upload for a few days. So some YouTubers started making videos saying that he died in a car crash. What the fuck is that? You can't title a video Nick Avocado is dead and then have the thumbnail looking like he's died in a car crash. I also particularly like this one by a channel called Pointless, where the title is Nick Avocado is dead and the thumbnail has sad emojis in it. But this is where we got to the month of August, and this is also where Def Noodles started to pop on the scene. Now, all the drama started with Def Noodles when he basically insinuated that Papa Gut was a paedophile, then sold merch with Papa Gut crying on it over his wife's SA, and then even said Papa Gut was weaponizing his tears and weaponizing his wife's SA.
The fact is, he couldn't find another way to respond to my joke other than to weaponize someone else's, you know, essay.
You know, the further I'm looking down my notes here, I've just realised how bad of a month August was, because Daddy05, probably the worst family channel that's ever existed and used to post the worst videos of them practically abusing their children, returned.
Well, there need to be a few stipulations. I don't want no drama. I don't want no drama. I just want to have fun. I don't want drama from 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, whatever it was. I don't want drama from back then. You know, that was then. It's done. It's over with. I did my time. I'm done in her. It's done. It's over with.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, you don't really get to decide when it's over with, you know? If people are still angry with you over the fact that you were posted in some of the most horrific videos that have ever been posted on the platform with the way you treat your children, they've every right to feel a negative way towards you. In fact, I personally would never forgive you, and hopefully a lot of other people feel the same way. And of course, like every other month of the year, we got some more Ace family drama where Shyla, who used to be with Landon McBroom, Oscar McBroom's brother, was posting a bunch of stories, basically exposing the whole family. Stop playing with mine, I be so cool. You had free for money, leave mine innocent. You want to post my most private thing time and time again. Yes, he be cheating. Yes, her dumb ass knows. Yes, they're broke. Yes, they had number 3 via IVF to make sure it was a boy. Oh, and how you try to have security kill and R-word call what's his name when that video came out. Yes, him and his dad do it together. Yes, his mama know that too and support it. Yeah, that's her talking about Austin McBroom, by the way, you know? And people still support this bloke. Blows my fucking mind. But let's just get back to Def Noodles here, because towards the end of the month, he released his first ever comedy show, and it was a sight to behold.
You're like my cousin if you were a girl.
Haha, you know, still as funny as the first time I heard it. Hey, Pure comedy genius. Now, August was also the month that Gabby Hanna supposedly had a manic episode on TikTok, and this lasted, I believe, like a week, maybe 2, and even involved strangers going to her home and taking advantage of the fact that she was having this episode just so they could film content of her and get views.
Oh, hi. Hi.
Think you can use your bathroom?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Come on.
Thank you.
Hey, there's fine. What's your name?
My name's Nick.
Nick? Nice to meet you.
He then proceeded to post TikToks inside the house, basically giving a full-on house tour without Gabby's permission, posting videos playing with her cats, and then even appears in a load of Gabby Hanna's TikToks while she doesn't even know that the guy already knew who she was. But this is where we moved over to September, and we got Def Noodle's second comedy show, which resulted in him assaulting Salvo live on stream. We then also got Def Noodle's ex-employee Tiana coming out and talking about how much of a bad experience it was working with Def Noodles.
And then he took me to Burning Man with no fucking water or preparation at all.
And because of Tiana posting this video basically saying that Def Noodles was a bad boss, he then threatened to sue her.
So I was gonna do the part 2 to this story because I didn't get to finish my little story time video. But I got a text from my ex-boss last night saying that he's gonna sue me. I guess he got butthurt about the storytime video.
What you want to hear, isn't
it? And
it?
then he lied about me on his live this morning and called me a clout
We'll get to
chaser,
that.
even though I've literally never mentioned his name on my channel.
But then yet again, in September, just like every other month of the year, we have Ace Fest drama because Social Gloves 2 happened. And not many people turned up.
We are here at the Bank of California Stadium for the McBroom versus Gibb fight. And we've talked around to some people, and some sources say that they've only sold 200 tickets today and gave away 1,000.
But I do just want to give you some good news because I'm looking at my notes right now. The Ace Fest weren't mentioned in October. So that's a win. But before we do get to October, the last little bit that did happen in September was Shari Franke, Ruby's daughter, actually spoke out against Ruby. I know that there are many rumours circulating online about my family. While it is true I'm not in contact with my immediate family and don't support the extreme beliefs of Connexions, please remember that this is my real family. Despite good intentions, speculating, rumours and gossip doesn't help us. I like to ask for privacy for me and my family as we work through this difficult situation. Please know that many are working on this situation and I hope one day that we can be whole again. Please respect my privacy as I work through my own healing as well. And obviously this was a very big part of the whole like 8 Passengers Connections like situation that happened this year, because we'd been mentioning for a long time like what's going to happen when these kids are old enough to be able to speak up against their parents and speak up against how they've been affected throughout this all. And now Shari was actually old enough to speak out, and as soon as she was, she did. And it kind of just confirmed that we're not just seeing it from an outside perspective that makes it look like Ruby is this horrible person. It seems like she really is. But now let's move on to October, and I would like to kind of describe this month as the Try Guys month, because it had been revealed that Ned Fulmer from the Try Guys had been caught cheating on his wife with someone who worked at the company, and because of that, Ned Fulmer then got kicked. Hi, I was just wondering if blank, I'm assuming Alex, was in NYC, because if so, I think there's something you should know, unfortunately. Yeah, she was. Why? So basically, I went out to Niagara, the club, last night and saw her making out with Ned from the Try Guys. I have videos if needed. She was wearing a red dress, I don't know if that helps. To which this person then sent the videos across of Ned and Alex kissing. Ned Fulmer is no longer working with the Try Guys. As a result of a thorough internal review, we do not see a path forward together. We thank you for your support as we navigate this change. And then shortly after that statement, the Try Guys then released their own video kind of addressing the situation.
And thus began a 3-week process of engaging with employment lawyers, corporate lawyers, HR, PR, and more, in order to make sure we were taking all necessary steps. From the jump, we were acutely aware of just how contrary this was to the values of the company we've built and those of everyone who works here.
He's fuming, isn't he?
This is something we took very seriously.
But then we got even more information on the situation because a tweet was found where they were complaining about Ned Fulmer's car and there was 2 people having sex in the car. People having sex in a car at 5:45 while kids and families are walking around. And then when we started doing more digging on this tweet and looked at the location and the time it was released,
it was pretty obvious from a video that was uploaded on the Try Guys channel that it was probably Ned and Alex in the car. So this tweet was posted on May 19th, and as you can see by the location tag on the picture, it's Hancock Park. Well, a few days later, on May 25th, a video was uploaded on the Try Guys channel called Living in a $22 Million Mansion for a Day. Now in this video, they just so happen to be in Hancock Park, and you'll never guess who shows up to the house together. But the month of October wasn't solely around us talking about the Try Guys. We also spoke about the pink sauce situation, because the pink sauce lady, Chef P, and another TikToker who basically criticised her product were then put on a talk show where they basically just ganged up on the TikToker.
Nothing was fabricated. To be honest, you're not special. You're not special. Okay? So, and I think it's a moment of learning on both parts.
I think the learning is more on your part.
Yeah, I've got to say, this was probably the worst interview of the year, right? Surely. I mean, if you go to this Caramel's channel, the guy who runs the talk show, they still get comments to this day saying that he needs to apologise, and he just hasn't, even though he was pretty much a dick. Right, now we move on to November, and to be honest, things started kind of slowing down towards the latter part of this year, so we'll go through these a bit quicker. So Shane Dawson released a series all about Jeffree Star, and said that he was going to quit YouTube, which I'm sure a bunch of people cried about.
Might be time to hang up my button. Yeah, so...
I'm sorry, man. I can't help but just not care. Also in November, Nikita Dragun was arrested. Nikita Dragun arrested at Miami hotel, allegedly naked at pool. Yeah. Sounds about right. And then Connexions also uploaded a video saying that if you don't live in truth, your kids are gonna die.
Don't attack yourself. Attack distortion. Distortion is this thing that's trying to drag you down and kill you and kill your children.
Kill your children? What are you saying? And then we move over to December. Obviously this month isn't done yet. It's pretty much towards the end of it right now. But a few things have happened. The pink sauce re-released and it's no longer pink.
Let's go ahead and try it. I got some Chick-fil-A thanks to Dave's Gourmet. And
Wait a second. Where the fuck is the pink sauce? That colour right there could not be any further away from pink if you tried. That's just false advertising at that point. It's yellow! Also, Kira from OK Baby revealed that she is now dating her best friend's ex-husband. Hannah and I are no longer friends, although I truly love her and think she's one of the best people to ever walk this planet. I'm sorry, right? But if you think that, why are you dating her ex-fucking husband? And then to end the year, we got Jodi Hildebrandt acting like classic Jodi Hildebrandt, where she says that the fact that gay people can now get married is going to cause more pedophilia.
When that law was passed, it opened the floodgate for every other devious, vile, sexually permissive and destructive behaviors to be engaged upon.
And that marks the end of the year, folks, 2022. What a fucking weird time. So yeah, I want you guys to tell me in the comment section down below, who had the worst year? What was the worst scandal? What did you think of the year in total? Just any thoughts you had of anything I mentioned in today's video. For me personally, I think the people had the worst year was 8 Passengers. I think they're genuinely some of the most disgusting people to ever enter this platform. And to me, it doesn't get worse than that. Obviously, the Ace family pop up probably the most throughout the year, but I still just despise 8 Passengers, specifically Jodi and Ruby, way more than I do the Ace family, and that's saying something. But yeah, like I said, let me know your thoughts down below, and I'm going to leave the video there, so if you did enjoy, please leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new, and until next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.